here's the great man, Bryan Robson, carrying appropriately in the FA Cup. His children alongside him, one dressed in United colours, one in Celtic colours, and a huge battery of photographers waiting as Bryan Robson holds the cup aloft, held it proudly aloft last May at Wembley, of course, after United beat Crystal Palace in the replay. So a great moment for Bryan Robson, Dennis.
It's absolutely lovely, isn't it? I remember coming up here when it was my testimonial against Ajax. I didn't actually play the game because, as usual, I was into the day before, on the Saturday before. But to come out and hear the roar of the crowd, it really is something that you can never forget. And that was lovely touches. These children coming out, one with the Celtic and one with the Manchester United strip. It's lovely to see. It is a family night tonight, isn't it? But at the same time, I think it's going to be a hard game. I mean, so many times in the past, you had these testimonial games that really were a farce, weren't they? I've got a feeling tonight there won't be anything like that. And I think that the Celtic supporters won't expect their team to play. They'll expect them to play tough and hard. And of course, the two strong sides out. And sometimes in testimonial games, you get, half the team doesn't play. The strong teams tonight, they're more or less their first selection. So I think we've got to see a cracker of a game tonight.
And of course we look forward to seeing the great man come on himself a little later on.
Well, that would be lovely. We were talking to him obviously before the game, and he reckoned he was going to come on in the last 20 minutes, and that would be nice because he hasn't played for such a long time, and we just wonder how fit he's going to be, and if he does come through the 20 minutes, how he will sort of fare for the future.
Well, at the moment, Bryan is walking towards his team. Celtic warming up away to our left in those famous green and white hoops, and referee Neil Midgley in the centre circle waves towards the United players, and I would imagine it will be Bryan Robson who will go up into the centre circle to toss up with Paddy Bonner, who is captaining Celtic tonight. And I think Paddy Bonner has a little gift for Bryan as well. That's nice. Dennis from Celtic.
It's lovely. It's lovely to see the children there, isn't it? And all the top referees as well. I hope they do well tonight. They better do. I'll give him some stick, don't worry.
Well, Neil Midgley, of course, has always been a great players referee, hasn't he? And I think it's nice that he is the man who's going to take charge tonight.
Well, it's lovely, Neil, because he, as you say, he is a players referee, and sometimes hopefully not tonight, he will have to use his authority, but in the heat of a game, things do happen, but he has a feeling for it, and he'll just have a quiet word with you, on your bike, son, if you cause any more trouble, then I'll book you, so he gives you the opportunity to sort of calm down, and that is lovely, and it keeps the players happy, and it keeps the crowds happy.
So, all the preliminaries just about over. Bryan Robson departs with the kids.
Isn't that lovely?
Isn't that a lovely picture, eh?
Lovely.
And now we're ready for the action. And I think Bryan certainly was very pleased with all of that. Nice smile from Bryan Robson. And it looks as if it will be Celtic to kick off. Charlie Nicholas, number 9. Good to see Charlie back in action. He played on Saturday against St Mirren in the 4-1 win. And Tommy Craig, Celtic's assistant manager, was telling me before the start that he played very well indeed. 20 Scottish caps, Charlie Nicholas, a great favourite, and no one better to play in this sort of game. And it will be Charlie who gets the first touch, and Celtic get us underway. Number 3 is Dobczek, Polish international. That'll be a throw-in to United. 2 is Dennis Owen. And now Paulins. Aidan Blackmore. Ince continues the run. And it's Paul Elliott who comes across. Paul Elliott once of Aston Villa. And signed for Celtic from Pisa, where he was playing in Italy. 1 or 2 rumours at the moment that he might be on the way to Chelsea. Throw to United. Mark Hughes. Danny Wallace back in the side. Came on as a sub on Saturday in the 2-0 win over Sheffield United. and he wins a throw-in. So Clayton Blackmore to take it. Bryan McClare wants a Celtic play. Hughes keeps it in. Creaney. The 10 for Celtic is Jeremy Creaney. But the ball back with Les Seeley. Creaney playing up front with Charlie Nicholas. Hollins for Manchester United. Gary Pallister. Around McClare. Neil Midgley waves play on, and the throw goes to United. Webb to Blackmore. Fulton. Under 21 international. And this is Dobczak, the Polish international. It's neatly done. This is John Collins. Gets it back from Charlie Nicholas. First touch from Charlie Nicholas. And that'll be a throw to Celtic. Steve Bruce getting the defence organised. Fulton. Fulton again. Paul Ince does the tidying up job, but rather gives it away to Fulton again. Dobczak to Elliott, who likes to come forward. Blackmore, though, with the clearance to McClare. Wallace in space. Hughes, and a corner. But a lovely move, Dennis.
A good move, and of course it was the forward run of Elliott which got his own defence in a bit of trouble.
So the first corner kick of the game is comfortably cleared. Dobczak. Wallace. This is Owen. McClare is up ahead. So is Hughes. Now McClare. And a good save by Bonner. Well, Packy Bonner's had one or two problems with his back, but he looks in good shape. He played very well against England in Dublin last week. And I think, Dennis Lord, is fair to say that he was one of the better goalkeepers in the World Cup in Italy.
I thought he was absolutely superb. He gave tremendous confidence to the Republic team by his displays, and of course that marvellous save from the penalty, which eventually got them through against Romania. But it's the game started off, and it's a nice game. They've started off well. They're knocking the ball about, and the lovely thing about the Testimonial games that it will hopefully show the players who can really play. And a lot of people won't have seen John Collins of Celtic. I saw him last season play when he played for Hibs, and I thought he was a marvellous player. Didn't quite get his chance in the World Cup, but if there is a talented player on the field, and hopefully he will show tonight, that's Celtic John Collins.
Neatly done. Charlie Nicholas, the flick on to Creaney. He'll need some support, and Steve Bruce is back there. And the ball back with Les Seeley. Very much the number one choice now, Les Seeley. Keeping Jim Leighton out of the side. Creaney. Fulton. Creaney again. Pallister. And now Steve Bruce. Webb. Creaney again on the run, and it was Blackmore that time who got back. The Welsh international, full-back, the man who was sent off for Wales last Wednesday in Luxembourg. Dobczak for Celtic. Alistair. Now then, Wallace. Well, Danny Wallace just got a yard on the defender then.
It was a beautiful ball from Pallister, and of course right up to Wallace. Got the shot in, not quite firm enough. Easy save for Pat Bonner.
Great is Mike Galloway, former Hearts player. In fact, he was signed at the start of last season, Scottish under-21 international. Just a little battle in midfield between Galloway and Neil Webb. Now Charlie Nicholas. Interesting. Well, Neil Midgley quite happy to give the goal kick. Appeals from the Celtic fans before the penalty as Charlie Nicholas went down. But nice to see Charlie Nicholas looking a little sharper again, Dennis.
Well, again, Charlie's had problems with injuries, of course, and he did play last Saturday, as you say, and apparently played exceptional. I still get the Scottish papers down and get a terrific write-up. It was just unfortunate when he came to England that he didn't do particularly well, and it would be nice for him to put on a good show tonight.
Yes, he was always just a little disappointing with Arsenal, though he was a great favourite at Highbury, Charlie Nicholas. Now Mark Hughes. Owen. Martin Hayes. Whistle's already gone. Handball, says Neil Midgley. And United take the kick quickly. Leclerc. Now Neil Webb. Leclerc. Hughes. Well, he didn't really get hold of it, Mark Hughes. It's the sort of thing I suppose you do in testimonial games, Dennis.
Well, I mean, the ball came across for him. It came across very fast indeed, and he had to take the opportunity of having a go at it. And, it's one of those, and we've seen it many times through the years, isn't it? When he has connected, they normally, because he does score spectacular goals, Hughes, at that time, he didn't quite connect properly.
But it was a nice move.
It was a lovely move. And it's nice to see the game being taken serious, isn't it? I mean, also, not by the players, also by the referee, because this is what we want. We want a competitive game tonight.
Alistair. Dobchuk. That's to Creedy. But Bruce was always favourite for that one. Together. Steve Bruce really settled in at the heart of the United defence now, indispensable. A bit of pushing by Clayton Blackmore. And it gives Celtic the free kick. Wasn't that far wide. From John Collins, the man that Dennis was talking about earlier.
Again, he was quite confident to have a crack from all of 30 yards, and it, I thought it went well wide at the end. He had the confidence to pull it. He has a lovely left foot, you know, he sprays the ball about. Nice shot.
John Collins, 4 caps. Former Hibs player. So 10 minutes gone, still no goals, but a good start to the game. Elliott. This is McNally. And ball. Martin Hayes, former Arsenal player who joined Celtic at the start of the season. Just over £500,000. Hasn't really settled down yet north of the border, Martin Hayes, but he's a good, quick player.
It's tough up in Scotland, boy. Doesn't come easy up there.
Pallister. Phelan. Back to Bruce. Truly done. Paulins. Phelan. Wallace, who's switched wings. Now Irwin looking for McClare, but Elliott with the tackle. Throw goes to Celtic. The last touch from McClare. Paulins. Wallace outside. Ince again. And no real problems for Paki Bonner. But Paulins starting to settle down. It's taken him a long time to settle into the United lineup, but more and more now he's become an influence in United's midfield, I think, Dennis.
Certainly the last couple of months, I would say, that he's come into a bit of the form that he showed at West Ham. And also Wallace on the far side for United. And you feel that if United are going to do anything, then they've got to have players like Ince and Wallace do the business.
Elliott. Clayton Blackmore giving chase. Fulton. Well, Jack had made the run outside, but Phelan had read it well. Greedy. And Steve Bruce.
Celtic playing some nice stuff at times, but it seems just the final ball is the one that seems to let them down. It was a nice ball from Collins there, a nice little move, but at the end, a bad last pass.
Phelan for Manchester United. Irwin. Ince. And Webb. Plenty of room now for Clayton Blackmore. A great one by Neil Webb. And Hughes scores for Manchester United. So a goal for Mark Hughes. And it all came about, really, Dennis, from a quite marvellous one by Neil Webb, who started the move.
He broke away marvellous, but really the thing that started it all was a most superb pass by Blackmore, all of 50, 60 yards through to Webb. He tried to take Pat Bonner on. Pat just got a little touch. And Pat was a little bit unlucky the second time here. It just fell right for Hughes, who knocked it into the empty net. A bit lucky and a bit unlucky in certain respects, if you could understand that. But it was a beautiful pass from Blackmore.
So the two Welshmen involved, Blackmore starting it, Webb making the lovely run to the middle, and Mark Hughes finishing it. And United lead 1-0. Mark Hughes' fifth goal of the season so far, and he too starting to find his best goal-scoring touch.
It was a marvellous pass. Look at that, right through. Caught the Celtic defence. All, I don't know where they were. Pat came out, just got a little touch to it, and unlucky again, just there. He just got a little touch again, knocked it onto Hughes, whose left wing shot into the net. Pat will be feeling a bit sorry for himself, I'm sure.
McClare now to Wallace, who's finding a lot of space on the left. Good tackle by McNally. And the throw goes to Celtic.
Well, it's nice to have a goal, isn't it?
Especially with anyone.
That's why we're here. This is why the crowd are here. They want to see goals. Hope we get plenty tonight.
Well, that one came after 14 minutes. So when you get an early goal, it means that the other side have to come out and play a little bit. Not that Celtic weren't coming out and playing anyway, Dennis.
No, Celtic will be a bit, obviously a bit disappointed when you concede a goal. So they'll be trying to get back into it. United, on the other hand, will try to get a second and try to get plenty. And they're really here to entertain the people. And I'm sure this is what's happening up at the moment. And we've got a goal. That's nice.
So now then, Celtic with a lot to think about. This is Dobchik. Back in field to Bailey. Bruce gives it away. Charlie Nicholas. Will need support. Finds Collins. And on the overlap goes Dobchik. Good cross. Well, it'll be a goal kick to United, but a good, incisive Celtic attack.
It was a difficult cross. Nice little move by Collins, knocked it down to Dobchik, and his cross when it came over was very, very hard indeed. And it was one of those, if Creaney had got a real flick to it, it would have caused problems for Seeley, but he hit it too well, didn't he?
Creaney. Dobchik again to Fulton this time. Now Collins. This is Elliott. And McInerney. Dennis Irwin. Bailey scored on Saturday against St Mirren, his first ever goal for Celtic. United throw. Mark Hughes. Elliott. Good defending by Bruce, but it's still not clear. And finally Webb to Wallace. Now Ince. And McInerney can get it back to Bonner. Competitive game though, Dennis.
It certainly is. I mean, there were so many players back there for United when Celtic were attacking. They're not going to let them equalise easy. But these Celtic lads will do it, don't worry. I've got faith in them.
Your money's on Celtic.
It's not. Actually, I said before the game it would be a draw.
Never one to sit on the fence, Dennis. Fulton with the cross. Got it down, and Charlie Nicholas almost in on that one. It was beautifully headed down by Martin Hayes at the far post. And I think Charlie Nicholas sent it a chance there. Now it's in for Manchester United. Webb. Ryan McClellan. Good football by United. Well, that's the situation with just about 20 minutes gone. Manchester United's goal scored by Mark Hughes. Phelan. Blackmore didn't really get hold of that one. Always ready to try his luck. Clayton Blackmore, and he's scored some spectacular goals from long range. but didn't really get hold of that one.
Hasn't he had a marvellous season? He's been one of the most, one of the successful players of the Manchester United team this season.
He suddenly seems to have come on as a player.
I would
doesn't he?
obviously with Bryan Robson being out on the side, he's been left down to the other players to come through, and one that you might have not expected it, but Blackmore has certainly been one of the outstanding players of United's team this season.
Just a little rain falling. It's been that sort of day in Manchester.
It's unusual for Manchester as well, isn't it, just to have a little drop of rain. Normally pours down.
Won't worry Celtic though, will it? They get a little north of the border too, I understand.
I'm sure if you've been to Glasgow, boy, it certainly rains up there. We call it a drizzle at times.
Free kick goes to Celtic for the tackle on Dobchek. Will take the kick himself. Alistair with a header away, and Wallace. Leclerc to Hughes. That's great start. Now Irwin. Hughes makes the run down the wide. Leclerc took his eye off the ball. Charlie Nicholas. Martin Hayes for Celtic. Nally makes the run outside. Great vision from Nicholas. McAnally's cross though, disappointing. Young man, Mark McAnally, just his third first team outing, but already a Scottish under-21 international. And at the moment, he's keeping Chris Morris, the Republic of Ireland international, out of the side. Wallace, again in space. Leclerc. Well, I have a feeling that Pat Bonner just got a hand to that. Indeed, it is a corner, in which case it's a very fine save, because Brian Leclerc was clear.
Again, a lovely ball from Webb to Wallace, who's played some marvellous football, and Leclerc, nice shot, in fact, just got a touch.
So the United corner. Flapping a little in that one. It'll be a goal kick. Danny Wallace couldn't quite keep it in, but for once, Patty Bonner was flapping a little at that one.
Nice phrase, flapping. Don't tell Pat that.
He's not a Scottish goalkeeper though, Dennis.
I don't. He's not. Hey, you weren't going to mention anything regarding that.
Always a touchy subject, isn't
Thank
it?
you, Mr. Jones.
Scottish goalkeepers.
Listen, I'll get you back, don't worry.
Free kick to Celtic. And it will be John Collins to organise it. Dobchek to Collins again. Nicholas. Flag was up on the far side.
I think Celtic have thrown a few hopeful balls forward, haven't they?
I'm not quite sure who that was aimed for, I must say. And now it's...
I think it was aimed for Seeley.
Webb. And again, Wallace is in yards of space on that left-hand side. Elliott to take on. Well, it was lovely play by Wallace.
And it is lovely play, isn't it? You know, I mean, there's nothing finer in football when you have a winger going wide, beating the fullback, or whoever may be the last defender, in knocking that ball into the penalty. It creates excitement, doesn't it? Don't know why teams don't do it more often.
So United's third corner of the game so far. Hayes, deep touch. Charlie Nicholas. Queenie. He's got a little space. One-on-one with Paul Ince. Jerry Queenie. Collins. Neatly done. Well, the final shot was a little disappointing, but it was probably Celtic's best move of the game, Dennis, so far.
Without a doubt, yes, and it was a nice little move by Collins when he eventually got it in the penalty area. It reminded me of the old days, you know, when, not quite best at his best, but, you know, when he got it, he went in there a little bit confident. Give the old dummy, you know, remember the old days? A double dummy. Oops. And then when it knocked over, Creaney connected well, but just obviously knocked it well wide. But it was certainly Celtic's most dangerous opportunity.
Throw to United. Clayton Blackwell. Owen. He's got Phelan outside him. This is Phelan. Now Neil Webb. Irwin couldn't quite control it.
The dreaded move, taking the eye off the ball. Drummed into you as a child. Don't take your eye off. It's easy from up here, isn't it?
You played some of your best
Bet
matches.
I've never made a bad pass. It scored some spectacular goals.
Well, to be fair, you've scored one or two spectacular ones down there too, Dennis.
Oh, occasionally. One or two. You'll be paid after the game, Ron, don't worry.
This is Bailey. Again the flag up, offside against Creaney. Worth reminding everyone, of course, that the offside law has changed just a little this season. Where the player now in line is onside, whereas it used to be offside, but even so, Creaney was well offside on that occasion. Pallister. Hughes. Great strength, Hughes. Owens. Guess who's in the wrong space again?
Nice.
Wallace. Disappointing cross, but I think we have to make the point, Dennis, that at the moment Danny Wallace is getting an awful lot of space, and young Mark McNally, the Celtic right back, is learning one or two hard lessons.
To be fair, I mean, there aren't many fullbacks could take Wallace on. I mean, when he's on form, he's got such a lovely spurt, you know, I mean, at sort of 5-6 yards, that there isn't anybody, and if he's got the confidence, which he lacked when he first came, but certainly showed his last 2 months, there isn't many.
Creaney. Well, it was aimed for Nicholas. A little untidy clearance from Blackmore, but maybe Creaney played it just a little too early. But should McNally now get a little closer to Wallace? That's the point I was really making, Dennis.
Well,
is he giving him a little too much room?
I suppose if it was a real game, I mean a real game, Wallace might be on the track.
Phelan. Irwin. Hughes giving chase. United throw. Dennis Irwin to take it. Leclerc. Hughes. And Bonner. It really is raining heavily now as Gary Pallister bursts forward. So it'll make the surface just a little greasier. It's ideal, in fact, for football, but with a heavy rain really pelting down now, it will certainly make conditions that little more difficult. Do you like playing in the rain, Dennis?
Absolutely. Terrific conditions for a forward. You know, they talk a little bit greasy, and you feel that, you know, if you've got the ball, play a quick 1-2, central defenders, or, as they were in my day, a centre half. They didn't have much chance. No, I used to love these conditions.
So just past the half-an-hour mark, 15 minutes left in the first half, and still Manchester United lead by 1-0. Mark Hughes, the goal scorer, after 14 minutes. Phelan, Ibsen in the space. Wallace outside him. Pallister. Now then, a chance for Creaney. One-on-one with Bruce. And he's put it wide.
Well, a letter for United there. A bad mistake by Pallister. A bad mistake by Pallister. Took it so easy. Creaney he had Nicholas with him. He elected to go for the shot. It really was, well, that was their best chance of equalising, but knocked it wide. I felt that maybe he should have taken it on with Nicholas, played the last defender, because there was no other defender there. And really, I know it's easy from up here, but in a way, they could have walked that in.
So, a let-off for Manchester United.
Well, I'll put it this way, Ron, the defender was delighted, I'm sure, when he saw that Creaney was having the shot.
So Lessini, who really hasn't had too much to do so far, it was his first real test, and I'm sure he was very pleased not to have to make a save. Elliott. Back to Bonham. And now Dobchek. It's a lovely ball for Creaney. It was skid on the surface, and now that rain having its effect, Dennis.
Well, that is the problem. I mean, that was a lovely ball from Dobchek. And probably in normal conditions it would have been ideal, but as soon as it hit the surface, then it skidded very much.
Bryan McLean. Hughes, lovely ball to Dennis Irwin. Well, it was good defensive play eventually. And now Collins can run it clear. Finds Charlie Nicholas. Well, that's a disappointing pass from Fulton. Handball.
Well, it looked handball.
Well, Jerry Creaney is complaining to referee Neil Midgley, but the linesman on the far side had also spotted it.
Mr. Jones, all players complain, no matter what the decision. Again, it was a bit of a slip by Pallister, but there you can see it. Certainly handball.
Mark Hughes. To McLean. Now Wallace. Hayden Blackmore. That's a bad ball. Fulton for Celtic. Powerful one by Galloway. But well read by Gary Pallister, who was another of United's players who is starting to settle down after a rather indifferent start here at Old Trafford, Dennis.
I think so. I think the fee of, what was it, 2.3 million or something like that, I think that weighed very heavily on him, and he certainly didn't show the form that we know he can produce. But again, this last few months, and towards the end of last season, he's come through and formed a nice partnership with Bruce, and that was one thing that United were having problems with last season, of course, the defence. So yeah, he's come through, and we've got more to see, better football from him. At times, you know, he just, you know, lacks a bit of concentration.
This is Bruce. To Phelan. Irwin outside him if he needs him. McLean to Hughes. That's just a little too far in front of Dennis Irwin. He'll never catch that. Mark Hughes, though, as always, so strong, able to hold the ball up well. And the only goal scorer so far tonight. Manchester United 1, Celtic 0. Bonner to Dobchek, the Polish international. Signed last season. Dobchek played 23 first-team games and has been ever present this season so far. Creaney. Fulton. Collins. Dobchek again. Hayes. That'll be a free kick. Foul by Ince. Charlie Nicholas. Ince didn't think so. And I think he and Charlie Nicholas are having one or two words.
A few words put there, yes. I wish I could lip read.
I think he was saying we'll have a drink afterwards.
I'm sure, something like that. One for you, Charlie.
So a free kick to Celtic. This time it's a free kick to United, but Les Seeley not too happy with his defence. It was Owen who took the tumble, but you could see that goalkeeper Les Seeley wasn't too pleased with the fact that the ball came back across goal. And
well, he hasn't had much to do, has he? So he's probably a little bit annoyed. Wants to have a touch of the ball.
So just about 10 minutes left in this first half, and still Manchester United lead by a goal to nil. Chase for Steve Bruce this time. Wins it well. McNally. And now Dennis Owen. That's a good ball to Leclerc. Webb. Wallace. Well, that was very well read by Elliott, who realised that Wallace was going to go outside his man. Good defending by Paul Elliott. Galloway, beaten by Bruce. McClare. Wallace makes the run outside him. This is Hughes. McClare. I'm sure Brian McClare would love to score a goal against his former club. It's Owen. Well, Hughes looking for one of his spectacular goals. Dennis?
Well, of course, when the ball came across from there, when it was just that little bit behind, just a bit low, but one of those spectacular overhead, I don't know how he does it.
Yes, you used to do that.
Yeah, but that's why I've got a bad back nowadays. If I had my way again, boy, I wouldn't be doing it. Why don't you just go simple goals?
You'd be saying yours. Free kick to Celtic, which Dobchek will take. This is Brady. Collins. Alley. Charlie Dickens. Collins. Down. It's a lovely ball to Hayes, and it could be a goal, indeed it is. Equaliser. Collins has got it. So John Collins, after a very neat build-up indeed.
Marvellous ball from Charlie Nicholas here. He saw Hayes, lovely inside. Hayes took it across, a little bit of luck, just got a bit of a hand, and there was Collins to knock it into the empty net. Now they've had 2 or 3 good chances, haven't they, in the last 10 minutes, and we felt that Celtic maybe will get a goal. We wasted a couple of chances, but that was a lovely, really was a lovely ball from Charlie Nicholas.
Well, he's always been a high-class player, Charlie Nicholas. I think the feeling always is that he's never quite done himself justice. But he certainly opened up the United defence then, and the finish from Collins, when in the end it was simple, but very emphatic. And we're all square again, Dennis.
Yeah, it's nice to see. I think that United have been stringing probably have been the better side, but on the break Celtic have looked dangerous and had 2 chances, certainly 2 very good chances to equalise, didn't take them at all. And but again, it was a lovely build-up. I mean, he saw Hayes move it. Look at that ball right through, coming across the keeper. If he'd been a striker of any sort, he'd have knocked it in. And then Collins following up, which is a teamwork. Follow up, get the rebound, equalising goal.
So 5 minutes to go in this first half. A very enjoyable first half. Lots of good football, and it's all square at 1-1. Webb to Ince. It certainly brought the Celtic fans to life. They've become just a little quiet. Not too quiet. Celtic fans are never absolutely quiet, Dennis, are they?
I would say not.
And that's really brought them to life. Great noise now inside Old Trafford. Both sets of fans chanting. And the Celtic fans especially pleased with their side's equaliser. And it really has set it up so nicely for the second half. Just over 3 minutes to go in this first half. Charlie Nicholas. Now Bryan McClare. Feeling. Galloway for Celtic. Nicholas again, who's finding more and more space. Hayes to Creedy. Blocked by Pallister. Collins. Lovely run by Dovcek. And is it there? I think it is. Well, it may be an own goal. Charlie Nicholas is claiming it. But certainly it's squirmed away from Les Sealey. And Charlie Nicholas is certainly claiming the last touch. I have a feeling that it could already have been over the line, Dennis.
I think that, well, it was such a fierce cross from Dovcek that Sealey didn't hold it at all, and I think it just hit the post. I think actually Charlie Nicholas did get the last touch there. It was looked as though it was going to be cleared. I would give the goal to Charlie, yes. No danger, but it was the original cross. It was a fierce drive. Sealey was a little bit unlucky because when he dropped it, it hit him on the foot, went to hit the post, and Charlie just knocked it in. Hey, it makes it for a good second half.
Well, would you believe it? Bonner takes it well. Much to the delight of the Celtic fans behind him. And they, of course, are absolutely delighted. Now then, away goes Creedy. He's got support. Nicholas just to his right. Hayes is a little further to the right. Collins, though, can't beat Ince. And Paul Ince gets it back to Les Sealey. But as we approach the end of this first half, there really is great excitement now inside Old Trafford, and the game has come alive. McClare, Wallace, good save by Bonner, but a great chance again for McClare.
Again, created by Wallace. Ball knocked out to Wallace, knocked into McClare. There's Wallace on the ball. Sees McClare make the run. Lovely ball in. McClare did hit it well, and Pat Bonner made a marvellous save. A little bit lucky, but I mean, that's what he's there for.
So the corner to United, and we're inside the last minute in this first half. And Bonner's lost it. Well, would you believe it?
I tell you, he must be catching. That is a pun, now.
Collins. Owen outside him. This is Owen. Wallace, you switch wings. Was he held back? Indeed he was. So, as we go into stoppage time at the end of this first half, maybe United's last real chance to get an equaliser before half-time, and it will be Owen with the free kick. All the big men up. Pallister, Bruce on the far post, and that'll be a corner. So into injury time, and United's fifth corner kick of this first half. Owen to take it. Collins. And in fact, the whistle goes, the last action of this first half. And what a first half it's been. Celtic lead by 2-1. Mark Hughes giving Manchester United the lead after 14 minutes. But then John Collins getting the equaliser on 38 minutes. And then just before half-time, Charlie Nicholas, well, we're giving the goal to Charlie Nicholas, who just managed to toe-end it over the line after a mistake by Les Seeley. So it's Celtic who lead by 2-1. And I think, Dennis Law, we've had a highly entertaining first half.
Very much so, and it's lovely considering when you see so many testimonial games where they really are just, you know, in a way going through the motions. But tonight, of course, the rivalry between the Scots and the English, i.e. Celtic, and a fanatical fans, has produced a game that it is really like a game because there's so much pride at stake. And of course, when United took the lead, Celtic would not be too happy about that. Then they came back. Looked as though United were going to add a second, but Celtic came back, equalised, and then Charlie got that goal from, I think, about 3 inches. So it set it up for a terrific second half, hasn't it?
Well, it has, and I think the way the game went, certainly United had the best of the early part of the game, but then Celtic, in the last 10 minutes or so, last 15 minutes of the half, certainly came into their own.
Well, of course, particularly for United, when the ball was knocked out to Wallace, he made some marvellous runs and created a lot of problems. And Pat in the Celtic goal was a bit lucky a couple of times. Hughes nearly connected with a spectacular kick, but Celtic didn't get up, and it's only 1-0. They've always still in the game. They played some nice football, and it was a lovely pass from Charlie Nicholas, wasn't it, for Collins to eventually equalise. But it was a real class goal. And of course, they're trying their best. They're not giving anything away. And then the second goal for Celtic was a fierce cross. I mean, Seeley did well even to just get a hand to it. He dropped it. He was a little bit unlucky because it hit him on the foot, rolled away, nearly went over, so hit the post, and there was Charlie to knock it in. It's going to be a good second half, I tell you.
So then, the situation is that at half-time in the Bryan Robson testimonial match, the score, Manchester United 1, Celtic 2.
Well, Brian, really, where did it all begin?
Well, 10 years ago, I think, Dennis. But I'm really looking forward to tonight. I've had 10 great years with United, and I believe that tonight there'll be a great atmosphere because of Celtic, the amount of people that will come down from up Glasgow, and the United fans are obviously going to want to try and outshout them.
Yes, but it really all began at West Brom, did it, many years ago?
Yes, it did. I mean, like, I've always played football because I've enjoyed it, and that's the same now. I mean, I started when I was 15, and I'm 33 now, and I still feel the same.
33, you don't look it, kid.
Oh, well, you know, you're not looking too bad yourself, neither.
Thank you.
Mutual agreements here.
Of course, Ron Atkinson was the manager at West Brom in the early days, and of course, he had a big influence in your career, didn't he?
Yes, he did. I mean, what can I say about Ron? He gave me the opportunity to play on a big stage like Old Trafford. He paid a hell of a lot of money for me, which was a big gamble. So I've got nothing but gratitude towards Ron.
And of course, you've had 10 years here at United, and obviously have many, many highlights.
Yeah, it's been fabulous. Not just the FA Cup wins, but European games that we've played here. And you know, I've enjoyed every minute, and I wouldn't have swapped it for anything.
Part of course, from United's point of view, England, the captain of England, I mean, you would have never have thought in the early days that, or would you have thought in the early days, that you were going to be the England captain?
I never even thought I'd be playing league football in the early days, never mind being captain of your country. You know, and like I say, when I recap my career, you know, I've been very fortunate. And tonight, I don't want this to cap my career, like, you know, but I'm looking forward tonight tremendously, you know, and you know, I'm sure it's going to be a great atmosphere here.
Now, of course, we are talking about your career right from the beginning. And I say, when I asked you before regarding the highlight, is there any specific games that stand out in your memory?
Well, the cup finals always stand out, especially the first time I won anything at the highest level when we won the FA Cup in '83, and I scored 2 goals in the FA Cup final. I mean, that was a great thrill. But also for England, I always go back to my first World Cup finals game. where we played France and we won 3-1 and I scored 2 as well. Those were great days.
Other cup finals?
Well, hopefully there's a few more in the pocket yet.
England games?
England's, well, I mean, I've got to prove my fitness with United. Hopefully I'll play well enough for United when I get back to impress Graham Taylor, and hopefully he'll select me again.
Going back through your career, I mean some of the games that you had for England, and particularly, obviously you've had tremendous highlights in your career, haven't you? But you've also had some low as well.
Well, the 2 lows which really come into it is both times when I've been to World Cup finals. We've got through the early stages and then I've injured myself and I've missed out on the latter stages, which to me is what it's all about in the World Cup, the latter stages of it. And it's been disappointing, but like I've said to people before, playing in 3 World Cup finals has been a big thrill for me. There's not too many people lucky enough to do that. So I've just got to put the injury side of it and the disappointments of that behind me.
Being a Scotsman, what about the games versus Scotland, England versus Scotland?
Well, in the early days...
Now listen, tell the truth.
In the early days, it used to bug me, because everybody said the Welsh and the Scots always play with loads of passion, and England didn't. And that used to annoy me. But I think we've proved a few people wrong over the last few years, and I think the English lads do play with a bit of pride.
Now, tonight is going to be a special game, isn't it? I mean, the atmosphere, the Celtic fans are absolutely magnificent. They've been in the city for 2 days already, you know that. Yeah. Came here at 9 o'clock this morning. There are under thousands in the stadium. It isn't really going to be like a normal testimonial game, is it?
No, it's not. I mean, the one good thing about having a great atmosphere at the game as well is that the players react to that as well, and so you don't get a half-hearted game. And with it being the England v the Scotland situation as well, I'm looking forward to a really good game. Our lads know it's going to be a hard game, but the Celtic lads know that as well. So that's better for the crowd.
I'm just looking to see if there are any changes, any substitutions made so far. I can see Lee Sharp down in front of us, number 15 for Manchester United. So he is on. But Danny Wallace is still on the far side, so we'll sort out who has gone off. Looks as if Paul Ince is the man who is missing. Flag stays down, so Jerry Creaney can continue his run. And a first touch for Lee Sharp. Doesn't quite get it clear. Loose with the tackle. Leclerc to Webb. Now Sharp with a little space down the left. Early cross. And some good defending by Dovcek, the left back, who's looked very impressive, Dennis Hall.
Very impressive indeed. Nice passer of the ball, and we saw that cross which resulted in Celtic getting the second goal. Fierce cross indeed, but looks very sharp as well. But talking about Sharp, of course, Lee Sharp coming on the field. He's a very talented player, this boy, and I think that we're going to see many good things in the years to come. He's a lovely cross of the ball. He's got a nice touch. I saw him against Manchester City a couple of weeks ago, where for about a spell of about 20 minutes he tore the City defence ragged, and it was nice to see again somebody wide on the left getting the ball into the box for the other players.
Alistair. Leclerc. Now Wallace, who's playing on the right in this second half. He played on the left in the first. Still the rain falls, but the crowd absolutely absorbed in this game. And with Celtic leading by 2-1, then United have it all to do. And that alone should be sufficient incentive to give us a first-class second half. Charlie Nichols for Celtic. Couldn't quite get it back from Fulton. Leclerc holds it up well. Irwin. Hughes. Wallace makes a run down the right. Collins. And now Elliott to get it back to Bonner. Flag is up on the far side, but good refereeing by Neil Midgley, who sensibly allows play to continue. This is Bailey. Stop check. And I notice we also have a change of goalkeeper. First touch for Jim Leighton, who has replaced Les Seeley in the United goal. Jim Leighton, Scottish international goalkeeper, of course, who lost his place to Les Seeley for last season's cup final replay and hasn't been able to regain it since. Wallace. Little buzz every time Wallace gets the ball now. McNally. Leclerc. Free kick. $850,000 Bryan McClare cost Manchester United when he was bought from Celtic. That's still a record for the Celtic club. The ball back with Packy Bonner. Jim Leighton. Steve Bruce. Now Blackburn. Neil Webb beaten by Collins. 3-on-3. Charlie Nicholas. And Dennis Irwin can do the tidying up.
Well, that was a let-up really for United when Collins knocked the ball through to Charlie Nicholas. I don't know why he wanted to go then and take on another two defenders, because the ball felt lovely for him to have the shot, and he elected to do the other thing.
Phelan to Blackmore. Irwin. Hughes. Won't stop that. Mark Hughes.
I told you he was a tough lad.
Demolishing the stadium.
Yes.
I'm going to be interested, Dennis, to see how Danny Wallace operates on the right. He had a lot of room in the first half when he operated on United's left, but it seems to me that the marking on him on that far side is a little tighter than in this second half.
Well, I think he'll relish the opportunity to attack Dovcek on that right side. Of course, Lee Sharp is a left-sided player, and of course he had to switch over there. And if he shows any of the form that he showed in the first half, then it's got to prove problems for Celtic.
Nice flick by Hayes. Steve Bruce. Sharp. Well, he's got her outside his area. I think referee Neil Midgley was being very generous to Packy Bonner then.
I think he was. Certainly Pat went out of the penalty area. Whether the ball went out, I don't know. I think he might have carried it. See? Did he take it? Yes, I think a wee bit. I must mention that to Neil after the game. Mr. Midgley. My favourite people, referees.
Now Pallister for United. Steve Bruce. Phelan. Lovely ball from Blackmore. Well, Bonner is certainly outside his area this time, but doesn't use his hands.
Typical goalkeeper clearance or shot or whatever it was. I'd hate to have been a goalkeeper, you know that.
They're not really footballers, Dennis, are they?
They're not. They use their hands, don't they? I suppose you got to have them.
Going to be a goal kick. One of the things that I've been very impressed with tonight is the fact that you've had no problems with Dovcek, the Polish left back.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. That's twice you've had a go at me during the game.
But there is a substitute waiting to come on who I'm going to be very interested in.
Actually, no problem at all. Jakanowski. How's that for pronunciation? He's not got a few Polish friends in Manchester, don't worry.
So the kick, which Bonner will take. And it looks as if we're about to have the first substitution. And indeed,
it is
coming on. Dennis Law is
Jakanowski. Not bad, eh?
So another Polish international comes on. Dariusz Jakanowski, who was Celtic's leading goal scorer last season, his first season with the club. And so we have two Polish internationals on the field, and the man who's departed is Charlie Nicholas. Throw goes to Celtic. McNally. Collins. Galloway. Didn't really get hold of it. Jim Leighton down safely. One or two ironic cheers from the Celtic fans.
He held that well, Jim.
Now we have got a Scottish goalkeeper to talk about, Dennis.
Yes, and I feel a little bit sorry for Jim, you know, over the fact that he was dropped for the cup final, and of course the lads went on to win it. You do feel a little bit sorry for any player. But since then, of course, he's really been out in the cold. It is nice to see him back tonight. And Charlie Nicholas, of course, I believe that Celtic have a little game at the weekend, haven't they? So not so much for his performance, because I thought Charlie played well. I think they play, is it a team called Rangers at the weekend?
I think they do have a little game up in Scotland occasionally between those two clubs, and they tell me that they attract a little interest.
Yes, I think it's this weekend, yes. So Charlie might be, he's obviously been taken off by Billy McNeil to conserve his energies, because he's not getting any younger.
So 10 minutes gone in the second half, and Celtic still lead by 2-1. Charlie Nicholas, who is now taking a well-earned bath, no doubt, scorer of the second goal. Another substitution. And this time it's Tommy Coyne who is coming on, and it will be Jerry Creaney who comes off. So Tommy Coyne, who got a goal on Saturday in the 4-1 win over St Mirren. So he goes up front, and it looks too as if United are making a change. Mark Hughes comes off, and on comes Russell Beadsmore. So lots of changes, and this inevitably happens in testimonial games. And so we have a new combination up front for Celtic, and Beadsmore has now joined Brian McClare up front for United. Flag up for offside against Martin Hayes. So it will be Clayton Blackmore to take the kick. Collins. Good save by Leighton. Did well. First touch for Coyne, but that was a good save by Jim Leighton.
It wasn't easy, was it? You know, the ball skidded along the ground.
I think he may have been just a little unsighted as well, Dennis, so he did well, didn't he?
Well, it's always a difficult ball for a goalkeeper, isn't it? Hitting the ground before it eventually reaches you. As you say, Ron, if he was a bit unsighted as well.
Lovely ball from Jakanowski, and that's just a little too strong from Mike Galloway. And the throw goes to United. But a great atmosphere now inside Old Trafford. And the Celtic fans, with their side 2-1 up, absolutely delighted with the situation. Let's neatly done. Colin starting to show some of his skills. He really is a lovely player. Glorious left foot. Jim Leighton read that one well. Now then, what about that, Dennis Law?
He's doing a Packy Bonner. He did keep it in there, though.
Did very well. Jim Leighton, who's been very much in the action at the start of this second half. Bruce to Pallister. Wallace, who's suddenly found himself in a central attacking position. Dovcek.
As you say, Wallace moved into the centre of the attack, and of course Beersma on the right-hand side. And I always feel that that's not his best position. Wallace's, I mean, it's not his best position. Certainly not in the air.
No, he won't get much change up there, will he? Especially with a big centre-back like Lex Bailey marking him. But McClare's found a little space for United. Lovely play by Elliott. Flag stays down. Great chance. Good save again. Well, Jim Leighton certainly earning his keep. And a great chance for Jakunovski. But now United with Lee Sharp in at a space on the left. Beardsmore. Elliott with the safe header. Still not absolutely clear, but truly done by Dovcek. Important header.
Yes, and Jakunovski coming into the United box. You felt he should have scored here, really. But Leighton made a fine save.
So 15 minutes gone in this second half. Bryan Robson's testimonial game. Celtic lead Manchester United by 2-1. Webb gives it away. Jakunovski, good skills. Nally. Throw to Celtic. Galloway. He's beaten. And it's a goal kick. Celtic fans in good voice, Dennis.
Yeah, they'll be happy that the team leading 2-1. Nice, it's a long way down from Glasgow. Spend a few bob in Manchester. I don't think they might not like the beer down here, you know. Not strong enough for them.
So Jim Leighton with the goal kick. Wallace. Owen. Well, no need to tell you who this is warming up, getting ready for the action. Bryan Robson.
I think we're all looking forward to him coming on.
Well, that's going to be the biggest cheer of the night, Dennis, isn't it?
Without a doubt. Unless United equalise, of course.
Well, if Bryan Robson were to get a United equaliser, that really would be perfection, wouldn't it?
If that did happen, I think our sound guy here would have to put extra muffs on, I'm sure.
Goal kick to Celtic. It's Still most of the noise coming from the Celtic supporters. Stretford End very quiet at the moment. Mark Hughes gave Manchester United the lead after 14 minutes. Then John Collins equalised on 38 minutes, and then Charlie Nicholas just before half-time got the final touch over the line to make it Celtic 2, Manchester United 1, and that's how it stands at the moment. Just about 18 minutes gone in this second half. This is Galloway. Blackmore with the interception. Elliott. And as Des was saying, Wallace suddenly looks very much out of place. He had such a superb first half, and now suddenly Danny Wallace in that central attacking position, getting no change at all out of either Elliott or Bailey.
Well, the problem is, of course, that when you have so many substitutes for both sides, the game loses its sort of flow that we saw in the first half.
Yes, that little bit of rhythm and pattern which we had in the game has for a while disappeared anyway, until the players start to settle down again, get the rhythm going again. That's the way it will be. Jim Leighton. Owen in space. Collins. Galloway. Hayes. It's a bad ball. Elliott again in front of Wallace. So big and strong, Paul Elliott. Galloway. 1-2 with Hayes. That's danger. Owen with the important interception. That was deflected. That's a great save. And another great save by Jim Leighton. Well, that is a superb double save. First of all, from the shot from Fulton, which was deflected, and that was probably the best save of all. But brilliant goalkeeping.
Yes, it was, because that shot from Fulton did take the deflection. Jim Leighton got his left hand to the ball, and as Jakanowski came in there, he had the sense to cover it. Two good saves from Jim.
So the corner for Celtic. And I think we're about to have another Celtic substitution. Off comes Mike Galloway, who's had a very good game in midfield. And on comes Peter Grant to take his place. So it's a midfielder for a midfielder. And it's Grant wearing number 13 who comes on. Jakanowski. Collins almost setting it up. First touch for Grant. Over the top. Shot from Dovcek. But I think Jim Leighton had that covered all the way, guys.
He had it covered all the way, but I tell you, Dovcek, he does pack a powerful shot. I mean, that's 30-odd yards. Not very far, but I think Jim, to be fair to Jim, I think he did have it covered.
Well, since he's been on, he's had a terrific game, hasn't he?
He has, hasn't he? He's been certainly more in the game than Seeley was in the first half. I don't think he'll be too happy about that, will he?
Well, he's certainly giving Alex Ferguson a chance to see what he can do.
And I never know how goalkeepers think anyway.
Or if they think. Pat Bonner. Celtic, which Mark McNally will take. Steve Bruce. Wallace. Elliott. Getting his defenders G'd up a little bit. There's no doubt that Celtic want to win this game. They're very committed to it. And I think Paul Elliott's actions then when he got the ball back to Paddy Bonner said it all. You see Paul Elliott now calling to his defenders to tighten up. The big number 5 for Celtic. He's exhorting his defenders to tighten down and doesn't want to give anything away. This is Elliott again. That's Bonners.
Unlucky there. It was a nice touch from Sharp, just a bit too far.
A little bite has gone out of the United attack, certainly, Dennis, since Hughes has gone off, and the readjustment with Wallace now in the central attacking role with the 2 youngsters wide. They haven't settled down yet, have they?
No, they haven't, and it's, as you say, it's not Wallace's best position. He's certainly not going to win much in the air. And lost the sort of danger that he created on when he was on this left-hand side.
Free kick for the push on Martin Hayes. Taken quickly. Lovely turn by Jakanowski. Mike Phelan. But Elliott had read that so well in front of McClare. Now Collins. Elliott again. He's become more and more a commanding figure throughout the game. Well, we've talked all night about this attendance. 41,658 have turned up to pay their own tribute to Bryan Robson. Bonner does well. Still United can sustain the attack. This is Beardsmore. Blackmore didn't get hold of it. But a crowd of over 41,000 on what really is an awful night. Dennis, rain falling. It's rather chilly. A good match, but it says it all, doesn't it, that 41,000 plus can turn out for Bryan Robson.
Well, it just shows you what the people of Manchester, and not only Manchester, from obviously come down from Glasgow with Celtic, and you know United supporters really, they're from all over the country, and many have travelled, and I know I spoke to a couple from Cornwall who came up tonight for the game, and they'll probably get back about 4 in the morning. It does speak volumes from the feeling for Bryan Robson.
McClare just a little too strong for Lee Sharp, but he's won the throw in. So just about 20 minutes left. Celtic still leading by 2-1. Elliott again. Had a good game, Paul Elliott. Dennis?
Yes, certainly. He's not given anything away. And of course, in the first half when he was competing against Hughes, and as we all know, Hughes is a strong player, never give up. I think. No, it's not.
No. Mal Donaghy prepares to come on. Neil Webb comes off. So number 7 departs, Neil Webb. A little buzz went around the crowd. I think they were expecting another number 7. But it's Mal Donaghy who's come on. And another substitution too. Anton Rogan has come on for Celtic, the youngster. And he will take his place in defence. And that'll be a corner. So Dovcek has departed. And on has come Anton Rogan, the youngster.
I hope you know who's playing.
It's like starting all over again. This time and on it, as the corner kick is about to be taken. Referee Neil Mitchley holds up his arm there, and now it is rather more than a buzz around the crowd, because on the halfway line appears a number 7 in the red shirt of Manchester United. Danny Wallace comes off, and well, we don't have to say any more, Dennis, do we?
Not at all. It is a lovely, tremendous reception he's got from both sets of fans. Not only, obviously, the United ones, fans are very sharp, but the Celtic fans give a tremendous entrance.
So, the United corner taken. And the ball back with Bonner. So on comes Bryan Robson for his first appearance of the season. Recovered at last from the Achilles tendon, which has troubled him for so long, since the World Cup in Italy, in fact. And I suppose everyone now looking for indications to see just how near fitness Bryan is. Phelan. Jim Leighton. And he's now got about just over 17 minutes to play. And perhaps get an equaliser. Free kick to United. Robson leaves it. Steve Bruce. Beardsmore. Blackmore. First touch for Bryan Robson. Steve Bruce. Hayden Blackmore again. Owen. Dangerous. Ball still in play. Martin Hayes chasing back. Jackanoffsky for Celtic. He needs support. Ball pushed through for Peter Grant. And it's the third Celtic goal. Beautifully done. And United hit on the break, and that may well have settled the game. Beautifully done. Tommy Coyne, the man who got it.
It was marvellous run from Jackanoffsky on the halfway line, knocking it through. It was a lovely square ball here. Jim Leighton had no chance, and Coyne had the easy task of knocking it in for Celtic's third goal. A lovely move there, really.
So just as we were looking for a United equaliser, perhaps, Tommy Coyne has made it 3 for Celtic. Celtic lead 3-1, and we have just about 15 minutes left. And yet another substitution. Joe Miller has come on for Celtic. Not sure who's gone off, Dennis, I have to say.
I'm afraid I can't help you there.
Well, we'll find out as we go along. Maybe they've got 12 men. Now then, United win a corner. Bryan Robson. Robson in there. Pallister. Elliott. It's a difficult one. And Bonner does well to collect it. Collins. We now have just about 15 minutes left. 15 minutes for Manchester United to pull 2 goals back. I don't suppose Bryan Robson is worried about too many things tonight, but I'm sure he'd not want to be on a losing Manchester United side in his testimonial game, Dennis.
No, he wouldn't. He certainly wouldn't like it.
This is Miller. Now, what can United do this time? Sharp gives it away. Flag was up, offside. Against Dobchak, who's switched to right back.
Yes. Nice one.
Steve Bruce. Beardsmore. Still going. And it'll be a throw to United. So Dobchak, in fact, has switched from left back to right back, and it's McAnally who have departed. Now then, well, a little chance of glory for Brian McClare, but didn't get real contact on it. But he certainly would love to score against his former club, Dennis, wouldn't he?
He would. It was a nice ball put through, and Bryan just didn't quite connect there. Should have probably done better.
So Pat Bonner with a goal kick. Steve Bruce. Rogan. It's more. Whistle's already gone. And the crowd felt that Neil Midgley might have played advantage, but he'd already blown the whistle for the foul on Beardsmore. Bryan Robson. Now Donaghy. Phelan, who's now playing in central defence. Free kick. Now Donaghy will take. Now finds Mike Phelan. Blackmore, he's pushed forward. Danger. Tommy Coyne. On his own at the moment. John Collins just coming up behind him. He's given away. Joe Miller. Jakanowski. Brian McClare. Clayton Blackmore, lots of space in front. McClare makes a run through. Beautiful interception by Paul Elliott. Now this is Miller. He's got a little space. Now Donaghy takes him on. Hits the post. Well, he really cracked that one. Jim Leighton was beaten.
Yeah, so it was a good run by little Joe Miller. Donaghy kept backing away. He wouldn't go at him at all. Give him the opportunity. A little sidestep to the right here. Lovely shot. Very unlucky. Hit the post.
So 10 minutes to go, and still Celtic lead by 3-1. Doesn't look as if United are going to do it, Dennis.
No, it hasn't, and well, that was a nice shot from Miller there, wasn't it? A bit of excitement, but I suppose with all the substitutions in a way, the game has lost its rhythm, as you say, has lost its flow. It's certainly in the last, say, 10 minutes, it feels a bit like a testimonial game, doesn't it? But those Celtic are still striving to get another goal. They'll be very happy with the scoreline. Beat the English, can you imagine?
As far as the Celtic...
It depends when it finishes. Celtic 3, Man United 1.
They'll be pleased with that, won't they?
We'll have a few shandies in Glasgow tonight. And in Manchester.
McClare. Did well to get that across, but no problems for Pat Bonham. Yes, Celtic are having a rather indifferent season. I think manager Billy McNeil has said when they're good, they're very, very good, but when they're bad, they can be pretty bad too.
Is that what he said?
Something like that.
Good old Billy. Good lad, Billy.
Billy McNeil, of course, was manager just across the city here at one time, wasn't he?
Yes, and did a
Manchester
fine
City.
job with City.
Owen. I don't think he'll catch it.
Then made a move to Aston Villa, which it was a strange move, really. When
Yes, that didn't work out for him, really, did it?
It didn't, no. And he left Manchester City when really it was a big club, wasn't it? Of course, he's gone back to his beloved Celtic, where you've got to have success, lad. Particularly with Rangers in the same city.
Joe Miller. Looked a very good player, Joe Miller, since he's come on. This is Rogan. Bruce, Port's head up. Robson. Jakanowski. Been impressed with Joe Miller since he came on.
Yes, well, he's a fine player, isn't he?
Former Aberdeen player,
yes.
21 international.
Good old Aberdeen, eh? What
I knew that would please
what
you.
a lovely city.
Guess where Dennis Law is from.
The Granite City, lad. Bit breezy up there, particularly in November.
Throw to Celtic.
Well, Bryan Robson's having a bit of a lean time, isn't he? He looks fit. I've seen him, I watched him two or three times.
Hasn't really been able to get into the game, but it's very difficult to come on with 20 minutes.
Well, it is, and particularly when your team is not the sort of most forceful of the two sides. It's mainly been Celtic. Got the lead of 3-1. I know it doesn't really matter, but the confidence goes up there, and they're all pushing forward, pushing United back. Look at that behind the goal. It's not marvellous. Pity it wasn't on the carry.
Celtic fans really are in great voice now, great heart. And it's just a sea of green and white behind the goal. They're marvellous stuff. Throw to United.
Just as the camera went there, they took all the scarves down. They must have been watching.
Pallister for United. Warren. Phelan. Bruce. Donaghy. Blackmore. Now McClare. Bryan Robson. Bonner's missed it. Great save by Bonner. And a great tackle to deny goes Robson. And Donaghy, who was in there.
Lovely cross from McClare, and you just felt from our position up here anyway, that when it came across, there was Bryan. If Pat Bonner hadn't touched it, there was Bryan Robson just in picture there. He'd have certainly equalised. Sharp, again, a beautiful shot, a lovely save by Bonner. You just felt if that ball had gone through, Robson could have got the second goal for United, and then there would have been a cheer.
So just about 5 minutes left. Celtic 3-1 ahead. And here they come again. Good tackle by Pallister. Donaghy wins it. Blackmore. And McClare finds a little space on the right this time. He's got support behind him from Beardsmore. This is Beardsmore. Goal kick. This is referee Neil Midgley, who's kept the game flowing exactly as we would want. It's been highly competitive, and it's really, Dennis, only in the second half when the substitutions started to come thick and fast that we lost a little impetus in the game. Up to that point, it really had been a cracker.
Well, you do in games, as we've seen through the years. You know, if it's one substitution, not too bad. It's because a player's not doing particularly well, or he's injured, and you don't really lose the flow a great deal. When it's 2 and 3 and 4 substitutes for both sides, then it does lose the power. But it's come to life in the last 10 minutes. Certainly been a good competitive game.
Steve Bruce to McClare. Lots of space in front of Irwin, and he's got Beardsmore outside him. That's a good cross, and it'll be a corner to United as Lee Sharp came in on the 6-yard box. So what can United do this time? Russell Beardsmore has come across to take it. United 3-1 down. Robson around about the penalty spot. Dennis Irwin. That's a little too strong for Steve Bruce. And we're inside the last 3 minutes. Dennis Law, what do you reckon?
Well, it's been a fine game, particularly the first half. A very competitive game for a testimonial match where sometimes players pull out the tackles and it makes it a bit of a farce. It's certainly not been that type of game. It's been very competitive, and not until the second half when there's a few, well, loads of substitutes. There's another one, of course, Mackie Bonner coming off to a tremendous reception. Isn't he a lovely guy as well? Lovely.
Terrific.
Nice to see, but it's nice to see also Bryan Robson back in the fold. He's not been involved too many times, but certainly in 2 or 3 runs I've seen him, he looks fit. It's only match fitness now to come in, and I hope he's cleared his injury up.
So, what we imagine will be the final substitution. This is Andy Murdoch in goal now for Celtic, and quite a significant match for Andy Murdoch, because it's his very first appearance in Celtic's first team.
Andy Murdoch, a real Scottish name that.
Bryan Robson, lovely ball down the left-hand touchline, inside the last 2 minutes. Lee Sharp, Maldomaki, Owen, Beardsmill, Phelan, Alistair, United keeping possession. Now, Bryan Robson. McLaren nicely laid off. Lovely football from United. Beardsmill. Quite strong enough. Robson waiting there. Beardsmill. Inside the last minute. Lovely play by Beardsmill. Bryan Robson waiting under the crossbar. Ball still not there. Murdoch in a little trouble. The crowd almost willing a goal for Bryan Robson. It was almost in there.
It was in Saturday day when Beardsmore crossed it over here. He sort of got a deflection lost. That was Elliott, I think, that headed the ball. And Bryan seemed to stop there. I think he thought it was going over. Then back he just, oh no, Murdoch, it hit the bar. I think if he'd been more alive there, he could have got it.
I think he thought it was going over. I'll ask him about that later. Well, we're in time, which referee Neil Midgley will add on for injuries and stoppages. Just coming up, and a goal kick to Celtic, who lead by 3 goals to 1. Andy Murdoch with the goal kick. And very little time indeed added on by Neil Midgley. Bryan Robson's testimonial game comes to an end. The final score: Manchester United 1, Celtic 3. Mark Hughes giving United the lead in the 14th minute. John Collins getting the equaliser. Charlie Nicholas making it 2-1 at half-time. And then Tommy Coyne, 15 minutes from the end, making it 3-1 to Celtic. But there's the man of the moment. Bryan Robson shaking hands with all the Celtic players. His own teammates coming up to offer their congratulations to a crowd of over 41,000 paying their tribute. Neil Midgley, the referee, adds his little congratulatory handshake. The Celtic players go across to their fans, who have been absolutely magnificent. And behind that goal, which Jim Leighton was defending a short while ago, just a sea of meat now as Bryan Robson comes out with his children. Dennis Moore was saying earlier that it's very much a family occasion, but what a welcome Bryan Robson is going to get from the Celtic fans behind the goal as he goes across. Isn't that a lovely picture? And that really is what it's all about. The famous number 7 shirt, the red of Manchester United, worn with such distinction by Bryan Robson over the last 10 years. And all the Celtic fans rising to him now as he waves to them, walks in front of that goal. Applauds the Celtic fans. That's a lovely gesture too from Bryan Robson, because they've made the long journey south, of course, to support their team, but it's a little tribute too, isn't it, to Bryan Robson, that they've come all the way down from Glasgow to lend their support to what has been a marvellous night for Bryan Robson. Now goes across to the far side, applauding everyone. A night he'll certainly remember. Something to add to his collection of memories, which are many and varied in the game of football. Having a little chat with the kids. Joined now by the rest of his Manchester United teammates as he goes off on this little lap of honour and throwing his shin guards to the crowd as souvenirs. One or two lucky fans there who will certainly remember that. Nice little gesture again from Bryan Robson, typical of the man. And doesn't that sum it all up? One of United's fans, a couple of them have managed to get onto the field, and it's real affection for the man. Now 33 years old, he'll be 34 on the 11th of January coming up, but still a lot of football left in him. Lovely to see him back as a player tonight for the last 20 minutes or so. And the great hope now, I suppose, is that Bryan Robson can regain full fitness from this awful Achilles tendon injury which has troubled him. And into the crowd go his boots. Well, what a souvenir that would be. And someone can say that they've got one of Bryan Robson's boots after his testimonial game. The great worry now is what else is going to come off. I hope he leaves it at that. Otherwise it could be a memorable night in more ways than one. Well, Bryan Robson draped now in Celtic scarves, United scarves. So at last, Bryan Robson reaches the safety, or the comparative safety, of the tunnel. Says his last farewell to the crowd on the night. They now disperse. And Bryan goes down into the tunnel towards the dressing room. So a crowd of over 41,000, just under 42,000 here at Old Trafford. It's been a marvellous night, and now the United fans go across and applaud the Celtic fans. So a very happy Old Trafford, in spite of the result, as far as their own side is concerned. The final score then in Bryan Robson's testimonial game was Manchester United 1, Celtic 3.